To calculate bacterial concentration, divide the number of E. coli colonies counted by the sample volume, and then multiply by 100. We will use plate 1 as an example. Recall that on plate 1, we counted 27 E. coli colonies. The bacterial concentration equals the number of colonies counted on the plate divided by the sample volume times 100. The number of E. coli that we counted on the plate was 27, so we will divide 27 by 1, which was our sample volume, and multiply that by 100. So we have 27 times 100, which comes out to be 2,700, which would be our bacterial concentration for a 100 milliliter sample.
We will now calculate the average E. coli concentration for all 3 of our plates using the number of E. coli counted on each plate and the sample volume of 1. We will use the result to compare to water quality standards later on. The number of E. coli colonies, or E, will now be for all 3 plates. So we will add our counts of 27 plus 12 plus 21, which is 60. To get the average of the 3 plates, we will divide by the number of plates that we counted, 3. Dividing 60 by 3, the result is 20 CFU. Now we will plug in the average we just calculated, 20, into our equation. We will divide our average number of E. coli, 20, by our sample volume, 1, which will be 20. Multiply 20 by 100 to get our average E. coli concentration in 100 milliliters, which will be 2,000 CFU in 100 milliliters. Now, let's use this equation to calculate the bacterial concentration per plate for other coliforms. We will use O. coli to represent other coliforms. On plate 1, we counted 28 other coliforms colonies, and our sample volume was 1. So again, we will divide the number of colonies counted by the sample volume to get 28. Multiply 28 by 100 for our bacterial concentration for other coliforms, which is 2,800 CFU. We will now calculate the average other coliforms concentration for all 3 of our plates, using the number of other coliforms counted on each plate and the sample volume of 1. We will use the result to compare to water quality standards later. The number of other coliform colonies, or O, will now be for all 3 plates, so we will add our counts of 28 plus 31 plus 19 to get 78. To get the average of these plates, we will divide by the number of plates we counted, 3. 78 divided by 3 will result in 26 CFU. Now, we will plug in the average we just calculated, 26, into our equation. We will divide our average number of other coliform, 26, by our sample volume of 1, which will be 26. Multiply 26 by 100 to get our average other coliforms concentration in 100 milliliter, which will be 2,600 CFU.
When you enter data online, it will automatically calculate the bacterial concentration for you.
We will go over data entry later, but right now we're just going to go over an example of how the database calculates the bacterial concentration when you enter data online. For this example, our sample volume is 1 milliliter. Let's enter the number of E. coli colonies that we counted on each plate, starting with plate 1.
For plate 1, we had 27. For plate 2, we counted 12. For plate 3, we counted 21. Our average for bacterial concentration for E. coli is automatically calculated here. You can see that it's the same number that we calculated using the equation earlier. Now, let's enter our other coliforms counts. For plate 1, we got 28. For plate 2, we have 31. And for plate 3, we counted 19. Again, The average bacterial concentration for other coliforms is automatically calculated here. 2,600 was the result. You'll also see that total coliforms were calculated, which simply adds the average E. coli concentration and average other coliform concentration to get 4,600.